Good morning, algebra class. This is our second video for this week, number 2, okay? This video, again, is working with equations, but it's all about solving literal equations. And you're gonna see what I mean by literal in a minute. But if you have any questions, just let me know. And without further ado, let's get to the video.
All right, algebra. This is our second video of the week, and today we're going to be talking about literal equations. So at the end of this lesson, I'm hoping that everybody's able to solve equations for specific variables. So let's get into some key concepts of vocabulary. Really, the main concept of vocabulary that we're learning about today is literal equations. I'm just going to abbreviate it. Literal equation is an equation that uses at least two letters as variables. You can solve for any variable in terms of the other variable. So literal equations are essentially, they give you an equation and you are trying to solve for a specific variable. Now it could be x, it could be y. They could give you other variables or other formulas and want you to solve for specific things. So let's go over a couple of examples. Solve the following for the specified variable. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, did I give myself more room here? Not very much. Okay. I'm going to go for A, C, and E. And I'll even go for F too. Okay. So x plus y equals 3. We are solving for y. So really all I need to do is just subtract both sides by x. And I know that y equals 3 minus x. And that's all I have to do, because I know that y equals this. Let's do this for c. 4x plus 2y equals 6. And again, I'm solving for y. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract by 4x on both sides. And I'm left with 2y equals 6 minus 4x. And then I divide the left and the right hand sides by 2. And I get y equals 3 minus 2x. And that's all I have to do for that one. Now I'm going to take E and put it on another page. So V volume equals 1/3. So V equals 1/3 WHL. Make it a capital L so we can know. Okay, and we are solving for W. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So that way I can get rid of the denominator in my fraction. So I have 3v equals WHL. And now this is W times H times L. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by HL on both sides. And that cancels out the HL on the right. And I'm left with 3v over HL equals W. And that's how I would solve for W there. Let's make another slide and let's solve for F really quick, because I know that some people are going to want that. 2 plus x over g equals 3y. 2, whoops, that's a 3. 2 plus x over g equals 3y. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, I'm solving for g. So I'm going to multiply by g on both sides. That way I can get rid of my denominator. So these g's cancel out, and I'm left with 2 plus x equals 3y times g. So this is 3 times y times g. So what I'm going to do to eliminate that 3 times y is I'm going to divide by 3y on both sides. That eliminates the 3 and that eliminates the y's, and I'm left with 2 plus x divided by 3y equals g. All right. Let's move on to our final slide. A car's fuel economy, E, miles per gallon, is given by the formula E equals miles divided by gallon, where M is the number of miles driven and G is the number of gallons used. Solve the formula for M. So let's write the original formula, E equals M over G. So if I wanted to solve both, or if I wanted to get rid of my denominator for G, I would multiply by both sides. I would multiply both sides by G, and I would actually just be left with E times G equals M. So my fuel economy, my miles per gallon times the number of gallons will tell me how many miles I've driven. If Claudia's car has an average fuel consumption of 30 miles per gallon and she used 9.5 gallons, how far did she drive? So I know her fuel consumption is 30. She used 9.5 gallons. How far did she drive? How many miles did she drive? So this is 30 times 9.5, and that is actually going to give me M, which is 285. So she drove 285 miles. And then final example. The formula for the volume of a cylinder is volume equals pi radius squared times height, where r is the radius of the circle and h is the height. They want us to solve the formula for h. So let me write my original formula. V equals pi r squared times height. If I want to try to solve for h, all I have to do is divide by pi r squared on both sides. Since everything is being multiplied, that is why I can go ahead and do it. So I know that h equals v over pi r squared. And let's use this to try to figure things out. The height of a cylindrical swimming pool that has a radius of 12 feet and a volume of 1,810 cubic feet, or what is the height? So all I have to do is plug in this information in the appropriate spots. So 1,810 over 3.14 times 12 squared equals the height, and that equals 4 feet. And that's our video for today. This is all literal equations. You are just trying to solve for a specific variable and then use that new formula to try to help solve other situations. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the section down below or send me a message on Schoology. But until then, have a great day.